Dan, so at 23 years old, who were you, bro? Like, what was going on in your life?
23 for me, that is when I had my first child, my oldest son, and I think at that time I had a decision to make, whether I'm going to continue to try to struggle with this 9 to 5.
Where you was working at?
Subway.
Oh.
Yeah. Or try to get in some type of career, whether it was going to be culinary art school or barbering school.
You like cooking?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I do. It's just, I just knew I had to pick something that was going to be a need.
Right.
People need to eat and people need the haircut.
Right. Yeah.
So I picked what I was doing already in school, at college, and at Rickers, what I was doing already. So
that made sense.
I chose the lesser of two evils, but got in barbering school, and
so first, before you move,
mm-hmm.
so have you ever been arrested?
No.
Have you ever done drugs?
No.
So at 23 years old, you were still a clean cut dude, staying out of trouble.
Mm-hmm.
You might have been struggling.
Yeah, I was struggling.
But as a 23-year-old black man at the time, young black man, you hadn't made
no
any
crazy
children.
No,
you hadn't.
No craziness.
Were you in debt?
No.
You wasn't in debt.
You was
other than loan, college, like school loans.
Everybody
got that.
Everybody had that.
Right.
Sally Mae.
So maybe I'll get to my point later on, but I just wanted to set that stage.
Yeah,
you are a young black man who has not been in trouble, no debt, no kids. You working at Subway, but working at Subway on the surface, it sounds like a McDonald's job, but for a black man who got a job and ain't got no other issues going on in life, he doing damn good. So forgive me, I ain't mean to cut you off.
Good. But like I said, I went into barbering school and it took 8 months for me to do it. And my son was born while I was finishing up. And I mean, after that was kind of it. I knew I had to do something to provide. Yeah. Along with my girlfriend at the time, wife now, but I just knew I had to do something. Yeah. So I won't
fall by the wayside.
Yeah, I didn't want to be that guy. Right. That just have a kid and just be like, well, I'll just do the same thing I've been doing. Right. Something had to change.
Because you can't do the same thing you've been doing when you have a child.
No, you can't.
You can't. You cannot continue to live your life the same way you was living it before you have a child. But that's the issue, though. Yeah. A lot of men do that.
Because even me going out clubbing or whatnot, I had stopped.
You can't do that.
Yeah. Can't do that. Got kids. I gotta get up.
But how many people do we see, men and women, who go out there and have those kids, young ages, sometimes old ages, and they still go out there and they still want to live that life. They still want to go to the club. They still want to do that kind of stuff.
You can't. You can't. I mean, I can't say what you can or cannot do, but
right, because some people do succeed when they do that.
And it's just. Right. It's a time and a place for that.
Yeah. It's a touchy subject because there have been a lot of people who still live their life and still make a good living.
And there's nothing wrong with living your life.
Yeah, exactly. Right. But now I have 2 boys now, but my going to the club is we going to the mountains. Yeah. We going to this amusement park
with your family experiences.
We getting out of here.
Right.
Every other month we trying to get out of here.
Right. And you spoke to that earlier. I think it was you. It might have been you, but just those experiences, the things that you have to do with your family to, kind of getting off course, but you become a family man.
Yeah. It's prioritizing.
It's prioritizing.
Yeah. What matters the most to you.
Yeah, I am the family guy now. Right. Yeah. That's me. And
But you find a lot of joy in that, though.
Love it.
Right. Did you find joy in that at 23 years old?
Not yet.
You ain't really understand.
I didn't know. It was all new to me, but I knew that
I'd be a father.
No, not until maybe 25 going into 28. And then that's just out of you learning as you go. There ain't no manual for to be a father.
Right.
Yeah.
It's not. And I mean, I'm glad I had him at 23. Yeah. I wouldn't have had him no other time. That needed to be done for me to grow as a man.
So you think that was something ordained by God? I'm going to give Dan a baby at 23 years old. I'm going to make him grow up. I'm going to make him, not necessarily that you had to grow up.
It's just responsibility. Yeah. I would say, yeah. I mean, everything comes from God off real.
At the end of the day,
whether it's positive or negative, it's a lesson learned. Yeah. Well, if it's up to me if I want to learn that lesson or not. Because I could have made a choice and went this way.
Right.
But that's not in me to do that.
But the good thing is, man, when you had that baby at 23 years old, you recognized the road ahead, and you made sure that you bought a nice car figuratively. You drove that car. You took care of that car. And that car is your life. You know what I'm saying? I'm trying to think of an analogy right here.
Right,
I don't know if I'm doing a good job or not.
Let's go.
You know what I'm saying?
Let it ride.
You knew the road, the journey ahead was going to be rough, but you made sure that you always stayed in a nice car. And what I mean by that is you always made sure that you lived your life a certain way so that you could stay on the straight and narrow. So that journey, although it was going to be hard, you was trying to make it as easy as you possibly could. Because you didn't need any hiccups. You already knew that formula was going to be expensive, so you need to always be there, always have a job to pay for it. You know what I'm saying? You knew those things.
Yeah.
You didn't go out to the club and mess around and meet another woman. You taking her back to her house or her hotel, whatever.
Right.
Now you making a second baby. You know what I'm saying? You didn't go to the club, smoke weed.
Right.
Jump in a car with your homeboys, get pulled over by the police, and not everybody going to jail. Because you didn't need those misdemeanors in your life.
Nope.
Right.
Because you was a daddy.
Right.
You didn't have time for it.
I didn't have time to play around.
Right.
And now it cut my 20s short, but it is what
Your
it
fault?
is. Yeah, it's my fault.
Your fault, right?
But guess what? I was able to.
Right.
I laid in the bed that I made.
Right.
That is what it is.
That's those life-altering events.
Yep.
You know, having kids or, you know, slowing you down. Not saying we all just out here, like you said, you probably weren't out there like that, but slowing you down sometimes means just getting your priorities. Like I said, prioritizing what's important to you.
Right.
Because sometimes for me, and it sounds like for you, that time spent with my children is everything. Yeah. I have girls, 2 girls. So it's a little different. You know what I'm saying? Right. They need that. It's more affection to that, more, you know, just being there, being that security, that guidance, that blanket for them. Right. And it's like that, you know, but I need it too, you know.
And again, you found a lot of joy in being that blanket for your daughter.
A lot of peace too.
Yeah.
You know, they bring me a sense of peace of knowing, okay, you are right. Yeah. You doing the right things. Right. You know what I'm saying? If don't nobody else say I'm proud of you, my kids do, I'm good. Right. You know what I mean? So these life-altering events, for me, when I was 25, I had my oldest, Justice. I had her. I was married. Mm-hmm. I wasn't married long. Everything was happening fast.
You was married to her mother?
Yes.
Yeah.
Everything was happening fast for me. Got married quick. About maybe 6 months in, she was pregnant. You know what I'm saying?
Were you in love?
Apparently.
Yeah. You said, at least I thought I was.
Yeah, apparently. You know what I'm saying? There's a lot of love going on. But, yeah, so, you know, 25, okay, now I got a daughter. You know what I'm saying? So, like, here I'm like, okay.
Now what?
Here we go. Yeah. It's like, all right, now let's what we do. You know what I'm saying? So, with that, I was already interested in, like, doing security at the mall. You know, I was in the education field being a TA, substitute teacher, but I was still like, okay, now what? What's my purpose? What do I need to do? And my daughter bought that. That was my light bulb, like you said, of just, okay, it's time. Yeah, I can't just work these little minimum wage, you know what I'm saying? That was my thought process. I need a little more, you know, because I want to do more. Right. So in that, I mean, I just started making moves. I did a ride along and kind of made my mind up after I prayed about it.
Who did you do a ride along with?
Jason Ravenel.
Okay.
Yeah, he was doing details at the mall. I was like, hey, man, let me ride with you one day. Yeah. It just kind of happened. I enjoyed it.
You knew that's what you wanted to do when you did that ride along.
Yeah.
You kind of had an idea. That was the reason why you did it.
I had an idea. I've always been interested in investigative stuff. Like what I do now, I'm an investigator. So I was always wanting to do like homicide or just investigations. Yeah. That's been my goal, so I did my research.
How powerful was it when you saw another black officer doing what you thought you may want to do? How encouraging was it?
It was very encouraging. It was very powerful. And it wasn't even the fact of just him being a black officer. It was being him a black human, just being him. Right. You know what I'm saying? And if you know him, he's just who he is. You know what I'm saying?
Cool. He called me the other day, matter of fact.
Yeah, that's like a brother to me now. So just him being authentic like that, being himself, but also being that authoritative figure and doing it the right way, being professional and not, you know, violating anybody's rights.
All right.
Our interactions are always like that. I've had some bad, you know, interactions with law enforcement before I became a cop, you know, but you learn from that stuff.
Right.
But in that, I did a ride along with him, and you know, I just kept growing, and
Yeah.
I was like, this is what I want to do.
Yeah.
Went to the academy, and once you're focused on something like that, and you have that drive that I got to do this.
Oh yeah.
You do it.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
And there's nothing can stop that.
Right.
And that's what it was for me. You know what I'm saying? My job. My dad said something before, like, you want a job or a career.
Mm-hmm.
That's on another light bulb. I want a career.
Right.
It's a big difference. Because now what? I got benefits for my daughter. I got a pension. You know, all that stuff that a lot of black men need to be educated on and we don't think about.
Right.
I love talking.
And retirement.
Hey, yeah, that's big.
Yes.
You need that.
Hold your spot. Don't forget what you said. But
Go ahead.
when I'm talking to people, when I'm talking to guys and trying to encourage them to become cops, that's one of the biggest things I tell them. There's only a few jobs in this world, and then police work may be the only one, I don't know. But police work is the one job you can have where you can stay at one department for 25, 30 years, and it's still a career. Because usually when you think of a career, you usually go from place to place.
Right.
With police work, you can stay in the same department, the same building for 25, 30 years and have a career because you start out as a patrol officer and you work your way up.
Right.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? You work your way up from the bottom.
Exactly.
So it's very encouraging. Like you say, it comes with a pension in most cases. Pensions are going away. They've been going away for years, but police work, government jobs are still the few jobs that have pensions.
Right.
If you get a pension job, take that job, hold on to that job.
Exactly.
And then it still comes with 401ks and 457s and stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? And then police work is the one job where you get to go out there and work them off duties. Get a lot of overtime. So for a young man, black or white, that's a great opportunity.
It's a great opportunity.
Listen, I've never met a police officer who told me that his kids had bad Christmases. Never. Because they can always go out there and work that extra and get that money.
You're going to make it happen.
Yeah, definitely.
Absolutely.
Definitely.
So I didn't mean to cut you off. I just wanted to use that time to put my recruiting
do it.
My recruiting
but those are
Justin
things
Hill into play.
You absolutely right, man. When people ask that's some of the stuff I talk about. I was like, it's just not I don't like this job. I don't like taking people to jail.
Right.
I like the rewarding part of it.
Who like ruining people's lives?
I don't like that.
Even though we don't ruin people's lives, they do. They make the decisions. We are just the people who have to come and enforce.
Right.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? But
exactly. So us having the courage to have to do that says a lot about us, and our character is how you do it.
Right. It's how you do it. It's how you put handcuffs on somebody. It's how you talk to them. It's how you take them to jail.
Yes.
You know, you don't just throw them in the back of your car and just be like, piece of trash.
Because if they're going to remember that and then always keep that in the back of their mind.
Right.
Don't like the cops.
I'll explain to them what's going on. Hey, look, this what's happening. This is what we about to do.
Yeah.
I'm not going to give you options at this point now because I am the police.
Right.
Like, hey, this was going to happen, man. Let me explain to you what we about to do.
Yeah.
About to do this, boom, boom, boom. If I put you in the car, you hot, you cold, whatever, you good. You know, because we got to treat these people like we human. You know what I'm saying? Right. So, you know, in this, you know, through these obstacles, through these journeys, through all these just learning situations to children, and still in my 20s. I'm not in my 30s yet.
Yeah, what you 20?
25, 26, you know.
Mid-20s.
Yeah. So I hadn't become a cop yet.
Right.
I did my ride-alongs. I was going through the academy and all that. I was probably like 27, 28. But in that, we still doing stuff. All right, man, I thought I had it.
Right.
I thought I had it.
Right.
But them the moments in life too where you learn like you don't have it. You have to be open.
What you saying? You thought you figured it out?
I thought I had it.
Dang,
I thought I had.
Right. Somebody got a good picture in mind.
We get to a point too. It's like by 30, I want to do this. By 30, you know, I want to have this. But and you think you got it, but you don't, man.
Right.
And them the points where you got to be open to learn and open to receive that
open
you don't
to change
have
too.
it.
You got to.
Because that's the preparation part for the beginning of your 30s.
Right.
Because that's a whole. I feel like the 30s is my prime. I feel like I'm in my prime.
The 30s is, you know, and it's crazy you say that because, you know, I used to think the 30s was going to be my prime too, but you never know. The 40s might be the prime.
The 40s might be all right.
The 40s, man,
I used to be scared to turn 40. Now I can't wait to be 40.
I'm looking forward to it.
You know what I'm saying? Because I can't wait to see what God got in store for me when I hit 40 years old. So, and then when I get to my 40s,
I just know I'm 33,
50s.
so I know since my 30s, the prioritization even grew even more.
Right.
So now it's like that commercial when you have a first child. you all just, oh my God, don't drop it. The second one, I got another girl now, so like it ain't like I just thought, but it's like I know what to do. You know what I'm saying? All right, so now I know how to do this. Now let's go and do some more stuff. Let's go and keep growing, keep expanding.
Right.
So that's what this 30's been. It's just like, all right, now I got a hold of this. I'm kind of comfortable with doing this and that. Let's make some other stuff happen. You're not as afraid to have that courage to make the moves.
Yeah.
You know.